Adrian Peterson back involved in this offense and averaging about 7 yards a carry right now.
Yeah, a lot of tread on the tires, still 34 years old, kind of a point of contention with the head coach and maybe the organization. A healthy scratch in week 1. Looks pretty good here for 18 yards, bounces it outside, turns it back up, and here for 9. He's a guy that really didn't fit the plans of what the front office saw, but as you saw, he was a healthy scratch in week 1. He was not remorseful at all about Jay Gruden getting fired, was happy Bill Callahan was on board, talked about maybe them running the football more, and certainly they've done that today. He's averaging over 7 yards a carry.
Hey, yo, what is up, everybody? It's B Militant. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host here on the Redskins Review. You guys, first things first, hail to the Redskins. We got our first win of the season. I am a happy Redskins fan, and I got to reiterate this to you, that I am glad that we beat the Dolphins. I don't want to lose football games. You know, I don't want to tank. I don't want to do all this. I want to win football games. I don't want to be known for a team going 0-16. That's the last thing I want to be known for. And although it's not going to sound like it in this video, because I'm going to have to rant a lot about a lot of stuff, I need to reassure you, because I'm going to get comments, that I am happy. I'm a happy fan. We won. It's a good day to be a Redskin fan just because we won. But there's a lot of stuff I got to talk about, and there's going to be a lot of ranting. So I just need to, before I get a bunch of comments of people saying, like, you know, chill out, man, you know, be happy we won. I am happy, but we almost lost to Fitzmagic and the Dolphins, the 0-4, 0-5 Dolphins. So there's some shit I got to talk about. And the first thing I need to ask you guys is a real legit question. I need you guys to speak up. I need someone to answer this question for me. Coming out in the second half of the football game, Adrian Peterson has over 100 yards rushing the football, averaging 7-something yards a carry. Now, I need to ask you guys this question. Which one of you guys out there thinks that Adrian Peterson didn't want to get 200 yards on the ground today? Who? Speak up. Who? Excuse me. Who thinks that Adrian Peterson didn't want to continue pounding the rock and double that? Because what I saw from Adrian Peterson was the same exact Adrian Peterson I saw last year, who had over 1,000 yards rushing the football, a man who is clearly the best player on our football team, a guy who wants to win more than anybody else. So I'm bringing this up because Kevin O'Connell, I put a comment in my community tab. Now, don't get me wrong, Kevin O'Connell's not as bad at this as Jay Gruden. We saw that today. That's why we won today. Kevin O'Connell stuck with the run a lot more than Jay Gruden would have, but I still see way too many similarities in Kevin O'Connell. He's making the same mistakes. We're up in the football game 17-10, and Ryan Fitzpatrick comes into the game. I think he just scored the touchdown or whatever, and we come out in the second half, and right after, you know, Fitzpatrick scores a touchdown or whatever, and we get the ball back at 17-10. We're coming out here throwing the football again. It's like, Kevin O'Connell, did you not understand why we are winning this football game? Are you going to make the same mistakes that Jay Gruden would have made? And he almost, I almost just, it's too close. It's too close for me, man. I just, and there's people that comment on the channel and they're like, look, man, I don't understand why you're so upset or whatever. You can't run the ball on every single down. Actually, we can. We can almost run the ball on every single down, because let me just, through other fans' heads, what out of the 5 previous games that we've seen this year, what gives you the confidence that that either any of our quarterbacks on our team right now, that Case Keenum, Colt McCoy, or Dwayne Haskins, what gives you the confidence that they have a better chance of winning us a football game than Adrian Peterson right now? I honestly believe us coming out and handing the ball to Adrian Peterson on every down, all 3 downs, we have a higher chance of winning a football game than us coming out and giving the ball to Case Keenum or any of those guys and letting them throw the ball on all downs. Now, obviously, I'm not saying you want to do that, but I'm just trying to tell you that our chances of winning are much higher giving the ball to Adrian Peterson. I'm not sitting here saying we have to run the ball on every down, but what I'm saying is we should probably be running the ball on first down and second down, at least every time. Because, I mean, and another thing, getting to Case Keenum, I was giving Case Keenum the benefit of the doubt today. Bill Callahan, who I'm a huge fan of right now, I really like everything that's coming out of Bill Callahan's mouth. He's the reason why we won this football game today. He's the one who came out here and told you exactly how we were going to win. Bill Callahan came out here and told you how we were going to win. He said we need to start by pounding the rock. Adrian Peterson's the type of runner who needs to get into a rhythm. We need to get our run game in a rhythm, and then the play action is going to come off of that. Then the pass game is going to open up. That's how we won. How do you think Terry McLaurin is just beasting out here and looking so good in today's game? Of course, he always looks good, but it's because Adrian Peterson walked us down the field, and they had to come up and do everything they could to stop Adrian Peterson, and then that's where you come off with all your passes, and then we got 2 good touchdowns off the run, man. And Bill Callahan came out here and told you what he wanted to do. Like I said, I have some issues with Kevin O'Connell trying to deviate from that plan and have a little bit too much faith in Case Keenum and give him the football and throw it a little too much on in situations like I said, we're coming out and with 17-10, and sure, Fitzpatrick just comes out here and scores a touchdown. What are we panicking for? What are we throwing the ball on first down and then, not picking up a first down on that drive and stuff? Why aren't we coming out here and doing what got us where we were in the lead in the first place? Hand the ball off to Adrian Peterson. It just, I understand it sounds like I'm so pissed off about this, but it's just because we're banging our head against the wall. We just literally saw exactly what we haven't been doing all year long, giving the ball to our running backs. And it's been working, and then we're sitting here banging our head on the wall again. It's just so frustrating, man. It's just so frustrating, dude. We could have won games this year. We weren't gonna be 0-5 this year if we did exactly what we did today. And it just blows my mind that it takes a Super Bowl winning head coach to come in here and just show you football 101. Run the football. Everything will show up after you run the football, but you can't just sit here like Jay Gruden wanted to do and give Adrian Peterson the football one time and then say, oh, well, he didn't do too much with it or whatever. I'm just going to go to what I know best, which is passing the football, even though, we don't have reliable people to throw, to either throw the football to besides McLaurin or throw the football. And, we're coming out here and just going back to basics. And sure, we didn't play a very good team today, but what we did today was much better than what we've done all year long. We cannot trust Case Keenum, and to further this point, like I was saying, I was okay with giving Case Keenum the nod today. You know what I mean? Of course, I've been in. As soon as we're 0-5, I mean, we need to see Dwayne Haskins. We need to see what the kid has. We need to know. We honestly need to know if we're moving on next year. To just be point blank honest with you guys, I think you guys already know my kind of take on Dwayne Haskins. I don't want to piss a lot of people off, but I'm a skeptic. I haven't seen anything that makes me jump for joy yet. I'm a skeptic. I need to see what we got in the kid. And we all need to see what we got in the kid. And today proves it for sure. I understand what Bill Callahan was doing. He was saying, hey, look, I just took over the head coach position. There's a lot of things that are changing around here, but we can't just go out here and just throw a guy who's apparently multiple guys have had the chance to play Dwayne Haskins and they've chose not to. So I'm just going to sit here and say that he's probably not ready. So I understand what he's saying is like, look, I just got the head coach position. Case Keenum is a guy who had a little bit of success in the year up to now. I'm in the business of winning football games right now. And there's been a lot of rumors I've heard that, they want to play Case Keenum until our bye week, which I forget, that's coming up in a couple games. And then after the bye week, when they say, hey, you know what, we've given Haskins enough time to get everything down, then this is just a rumor, but then after the bye week, then we would play Haskins no matter what, because then we have the excuse that we've given him enough time and stuff like that. So I get giving Case Keenum the nod today, but not after today. I'm sorry, but not after today. I mean, what did Case Keenum do today that Dwayne Haskins couldn't have done? Because all Case Keenum did today was throw passes to Terry McLaurin, and who is that not going to be one of the things that Dwayne Haskins can do? They played on the same football team together. If anyone's going to have a little bit of cohesion, it's going to be those two. So what did Case Keenum do today that Dwayne Haskins cannot do? There was a beautiful shot today of Case Keenum standing there, and he's sitting there like kill, and he's trying to change the play and audible the play, and he turns back and looks at Adrian Peterson. He's like trying to tell Adrian Peterson what he's going to do next, and Adrian Peterson yells at Case Keenum and says, "No, I like the play. Go back to the play." And then Case Keenum has to go, no, audible back. We're gonna run the play. We're gonna run the play. Adrian Peterson runs for like 5 yards. This is the issue with the football team. No one, and this is my issue with Kevin O'Connell. It's not a huge issue. I'm just saying it's not as bad as Jay Gruden, but it still has me worried. I understand a lot of people are. I was high on Kevin O'Connell too, but when you're looking at this football game and looking how close the football game was, and it's just I have issues with not understanding the team that we have and not understanding how to get the most out of the football team. Adrian Peterson, without a doubt, is our best player on the team. I mean, you could argue Terry McLaurin, but you hand the ball off to Adrian Peterson. You have to have a quarterback who's good enough to throw the ball to Terry McLaurin. You see what I'm saying? Run the ball. It's not rocket scientists, or it's not rocket science. Just run the football. Adrian Peterson wants that 200 yards. He wants to win more than anybody else. It's clear and obvious. That's why I'm worried that we're seeing a little bit too much of Jay Gruden and Kevin O'Connell. It's undoubtedly better. How much did we run the ball today? It's undoubtedly better, but I'm just saying the guy who I thought, this whiz, this guy who's supposed to be this up and coming guy, obviously I'm not saying the guy needs to be fired. I'm not going there, nothing like that. I'm just saying it has me worried that he can't see the strengths of the football team and play into those strengths. We did that today and we won, but it was too borderline for me to not be worried. That's all I'm saying. It's clear and obvious who should be touching the football on majority of the plays. And if anyone deviates from that, from here on out, you're going to see me just as pissed off and worried about it right now. Quentin Dunbar is a beast. We got to talk about the cornerback position. I posted a status today. I don't know if a third-round pick can be labeled as a bust, but that is exactly what Fabian Moreau is. The dude's garbage, hot garbage. But I'm willing to give him one more chance, and this is how and why I'm willing to give him one more chance. He has a big body. He's got a big frame. I want to see him play more on the outside. I want to see him be able to be more physical with guys. And we're watching Josh Norman struggle. Put him in Josh Norman's spot. No, put Dunbar in Josh Norman's spot. And then I want Fabian Moreau to go out there and play in Dunbar's spot. And this way we get to know if we're getting rid of two guys next year. Because right now Josh Norman's taking up way too much money and he's not playing up to task. And if you're a 1-5 football team right now and you want to win football games, I'm not saying that we have many better options than Josh Norman at the moment, but he's getting picked on, and I'm watching Fabian Moreau get picked on, so it's like, let's switch something up. We got to figure something out. I'm willing to give Fabian Moreau a chance in Josh Norman's spot. We're 1-5. You know what I mean? What are we going to hurt to actually go out here and try to make some adjustments and figure out, like I said, if we're going to be parting ways with multiple guys next year, not just probably Josh Norman. I haven't seen much out of Fabian Moreau. You know what I'm saying? So I want to figure this shit out. You have to make adjustments. Speaking of making adjustments, did you not enjoy blitzing today? Did we not get after the quarterback way more often? And you saw Josh Rosen make mistakes. That's what happens when you get after the quarterback. Now, Ryan Fitzpatrick which, by the way, I'm a fan of Ryan Fitzpatrick. Don't love the guy, but I love the Fitzmagic type of thing. When he came into the game, I was scared. I'm not going to lie to you. I was straight up scared. I saw some Fitzmagic about to happen out there, and like I said, I'm just a fan from afar. I think the guy's fiery. I think he loves football. I think he'll put his body on the line to win. He'll do whatever it takes to win. Like I said, not the best quarterback, but you gotta respect the man. And man, he kind of got around with what we were trying to do on defense, but early in the game we were getting after the quarterback, and we were just sending people. And did you see how just it worked? It worked when you get someone rattled, even versus Tom Brady. Tom Brady's throwing interceptions because we're getting after the quarterback. And the entire, going back to the whole Adrian Peterson thing, it's like live and die by the sword. I'd much rather go out blitzing a quarterback and trying to get pressure on him and try to make him make a mistake than us sit back in soft coverage like Josh Norman likes to do and just give someone a huge cushion and they just move the ball down the field, and we sit here and just we're defenseless. We can't do anything about it. We're just sitting here just watching. It's cringy. That's what I want to do with Adrian Peterson. I trust Adrian Peterson more than anyone else on the football team. I'd much rather give the ball to Adrian Peterson and us lose the game with us handing the ball off to Adrian Peterson all the time than trying to give the ball to Case Keenum all the time and us lose that way. I feel like it's a smarter, better way to go out, a more noble way to go out than watching the horrendous quarterbacks that we've seen this year play football. Yet again, I got to shout out Quentin Dunbar. And while we're on it, I mean, I've already thrown some shade at Jay Gruden in this video, but how bad is Bruce Allen? How bad is our talent evaluators that Jay Gruden had to go out and convert a wide receiver into being the best cornerback on our football team? You got to give Jay Gruden a little bit of credit, don't you? Just even like I said, I already threw some shade at the man, but how is it that Jay Gruden sat here and watched a wide receiver and was like, you know what, he could probably play cornerback, and now he's the best corner on our football team when we have Bruce Allen and whoever's running the show out here making high-profile moves like Josh Norman. I was on the bandwagon when Josh Norman came here, but I mean, it's not my job to sit here and run the football team and bring these players in. All these Clinton Dix. We're just whenever we have the chance to go get some big name, we just do it, and it never turns out good. Just not ever does it turn out good. Landon Collins, I think is he hasn't been great this year, but that's what Landon Collins is. I think I heard Louis T say this, and I completely agree. The guy is not a superstar, you know what I mean? But he's the definition of solid. He's going to be a guy that we just paid money and we're not going to have to worry about him. He's going to go out there and he's going to do his job. He's going to play through injuries. He's going to be a solid player for us for a long time. He's still young. I think we're going to be okay on that signing, but there's so many other signings we're sitting here watching, like Josh Norman just go to shit. The guy is just getting picked on at this point, about to lose us the football game, letting Ryan Fitzpatrick throw a touchdown pass. You know what I mean? It's just so bad, and it comes back to Bruce Allen. And I know you guys probably seen, like, there was someone flying a plane around in Tampa or whatever. Miami. I don't know why I said Tampa. But and like they had they're basically talking shit about Bruce Allen. It's just like, what does Dan Snyder need to see more? What? There's people flying planes saying fire Bruce Allen. What do you need to see more? Dan Snyder, like, I understand you're a huge Redskins fan. And that's the thing is, like, no matter what, like, how much people want to talk bad about Dan Snyder, sure, he may meddle and get too much into the football side of things, but there's no secret. He is a huge Redskins fan. And that's what I'm saying. We are huge Redskins fans. And as a Redskins fan, what else do you need to see more than a guy flying a damn plane, not even in D.C., is somewhere else across the freaking southern United States, just in another state, saying fire Bruce Allen? What else do you need to see, man? Like, it's just, I don't get it, man. Like, what if you want to see success, like, Bruce Allen has been god-awful. and you see how much the fans hate him. Like, what else do we need to do? It's just ridiculous at this point. Trying to think of other stuff. John Bostic had a pretty good game. He was fired up. And that's the thing. Going back to how we played defense today, us getting after the quarterback. In the beginning of the game, when we're getting after the quarterback and we're sending blitzes and we're hitting home and we got 4 sacks in the first half or whatever, our defense was fired up. You know what I mean? They're out there making hits. They were playing together. When Josh Rosen's throwing a screen, everyone's doing their job. They're coming up fired up and wrapping people up and getting tackles. That's what you need to do. You need to keep the defense playing together. And when we're just sitting back and letting Josh Norman get picked on and just plays super off and let the other team run the ball and do all this stuff, then you start losing as a team and losing the cohesion. But today you saw it. Guys were fired up. John Bostic was hitting people. Even Ryan Anderson. I mean, I know it sucks that he got a penalty on that play, but still, guys are fired up. They're trying. They wanna hit people. You know what I mean? It's just a whole different football team and a mentality. Now it did kind of change when Ryan Fitzpatrick came into the game. But man, trying to think of what else, man. The offensive line was really shaky in the game. I mean, Adrian Peterson didn't really have a lot of places to run, but that's the point. Adrian Peterson will find ways to run the football, and that's why I trust him more than anyone else on the team with the football. He's not gonna make a bunch of bad plays, and he's gonna make something out of nothing more times than not. And you have to feed him the ball. He's not gonna do it the first time he touches the ball. He's an old school guy. He's got to get rhythm. That's how a lot of running backs are. They got to get in a groove. And you saw what happened when he got into a groove today. He was bouncing the ball outside, looking like the same guy we saw last year, the same exact guy. And he's been on the team all year, and we haven't given him the ball, man. So hopefully we learn from the game today, and we take this and we move on. I'm gonna look at my notes. I know there's so much stuff I want to talk about. Another thing I wrote down, which I am a little disappointed. We had some guys get sacks today, but Montez Sweat wasn't one. Montez Sweat, I still think had a okay game, a solid game, but I think I keep saying this. I think over time, Montez Sweat is a guy who's going to get better over time. He's gonna grind people out when it's the end of the season and guys are getting worn down. I think Montez Sweat is still going to be a beast, and that's when he's going to come on more. But still, we got to see more out of the guy. You know what I mean? Like I was a huge fan of drafting the guy, but we do need to see more. We saw some other guys get sacks today, but we need to see Montez step it up. No sugarcoating it here. The guy's good against the run. That's why I'm not giving him tons of shit. At least he does that pretty well. But we need to see him take that next step. Trying to think of what else, man. It wasn't a very eventful game, man. It just really wasn't. I'm just fired up. I was just pissed off at how close the game was. I feel like we could have ran away with the game almost in the second half. But give the Dolphins credit. I mean, switching to Fitzpatrick, I mean, it was what they needed. It just really was what they needed. Josh Rosen is just he's just been hit too much, we just got after him too much, and not just us, like people get after him all the time, you know what I mean? Their offensive line was really bad. They never really got to establish the run. They looked like us the last couple of games, you know what I mean? They just couldn't get anything going on offense. And luckily this wasn't a game where penalties was a huge issue. But just as a Redskins fan, I forget what call it was, but they got shafted on a call, you know what I mean? So, at least there wasn't a ton of penalties. Let me go through. Case Keenum was 13 out of 25 for 166 yards, 2 touchdowns. Adrian Peterson had 23 carries, 118 yards, an average of 5.1. His long was 25 yards. Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, with 4 receptions, 100 yards, averaging 25 yards a catch, 2 touchdowns. Man, it's hard to, I want to get a new jersey. I want to get a new Redskins jersey. I'm going to have to go with the default and get myself an Adrian Peterson jersey just because what a legend. The Redskins have been bad. This has to be like the worst Redskins team I've ever seen. And last year we weren't all that great, but the savior of the season, and honestly, truly one of my favorite Redskins memories of all time has to be seeing Adrian Peterson run the football. I can't sugarcoat it, man. It's just, if you love old school football, that's what Adrian Peterson is. He's bringing the game back, and it's a sight to see. I would have never imagined that I would see Adrian Peterson wear a Redskins uniform and do something of note. You always think, oh, we signed Adrian Peterson. He's just going to be another one of those old guys who comes in here and is washed up and doesn't do anything. No, that's not what we're seeing, man. And like I said, even though we're 1-5, this game right here is the best game we've had all season. And yet again, like I said, just even though there's not too much to be happy about, and Terry McLaurin's a bright spot. Quentin Dunbar's playing good football. For me, Adrian Peterson makes me want to watch football games. It makes me it does something for me, man. I like Adrian Peterson, and like I said, it's really hard to go between if you're in the market for a Redskins jersey, go out and get yourself a Terry McLaurin jersey. I'm sure they're going to be selling like hotcakes now. The dude's a legit beast. But for me, I'm probably going to have to go with an Adrian Peterson jersey. And while we're speaking about jerseys, how about everyone wave to the Kirk Cousins jersey and say, thank you, Kirk Cousins. Thank you for having 4 touchdowns today and beating the shit out of the Eagles and throwing for 350 yards. Thank you. Everyone wave. Thank you, Kirk. Thank you for doing that for us, even though you're not here anymore. It would be a sight to see you throw the football to Terry McLaurin and throw, for like 4,000 yards every year. It would be cool to see that, but we got to move on. Probably going to have to get an Adrian Peterson jersey. I know I'm going to forget something. I know as soon as I end this video and I'm uploading the video, I'm going to say, hey, man, I forgot to speak about this. How did I forget to speak about it? But I'm not going to drag the video on, guys. Hail to the Redskins. Hopefully, and the last thing I need to touch on, it's very important. It's very crucial to this football team. Everyone's sitting here talking about who the Redskins head coach is going to be next year. Everyone's talking about all these different names. You know what I mean? There's a lot of speculation out there. And I'm telling you right now, the best thing that can happen to this football team is that Bill Callahan comes out here and transforms this team. And everything that comes out of Bill Callahan's mouth right now is good with me. If he can come out here and transform that onto the field every Sunday, here on out, and the best thing we can do is keep this man as our head coach. If he can transform this stuff that's coming out of his mouth, which is all, I love everything coming out of his mouth right now. If he can get that onto the field on Sundays, that's the best thing that can happen to the Redskins right now. It's not going out and finding another coach. I'm telling you, there's not going to be another coach that's going to come in here and say, anything that's going to drastically be better than what we got right now. The issue is with coaching, you got to have it transferred to the field. And yet again, the best thing that can happen for us right now is that our team is different. Our team is rejuvenated with Bill Callahan coming out here, shaking the players' hands before the game, changing things up. Hey, you're going to be in shape. When practice is over, you're going to be running. I'm going to make you run. We're not, we've been out of shape and we're going to Miami or whatever. It's going to be hot. Teams go down there and aren't ready for the heat. I'm going to have you ready. Stuff like that. I need Bill Callahan to step up. I need him to take the reins of this football team and prove that he needs to be the head coach next year. That's the best situation for the Redskins. It's not going out and getting somebody else. It's not us tanking this year and getting someone else next year. It's the guy that we have right now. We don't want to be fired. We don't want to fire people. Bill Callahan, his ideology in football, even though I've only heard it for about a week now, sounds good to me. He just got to transfer to the football field. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. Hail to the Redskins. Celebrate the win. and an Eagles loss. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.